Okay, I'm ready, dude. Hit me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Oh!
Okay. All right.
Oh,
all right.
we're going to give the Patriots our best shot. Joke's on you, Justin, because we did just start. Welcome, everyone, into another episode of Titans Tube. I'm Caleb. That's Justin. You thought we were gone, right, Justin? They thought we were done.
It's a New Year's miracle, dude. It's a miracle. It's not because the Titans are in the playoffs, because we knew they were going to do that the whole time. It's a miracle because we're actually releasing a video. Crazy. My mind's blown.
Crazy.
So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Go Titans. Hopefully they get it done.
And I predict the Titans to win against the other teams.
Oh, wait. We got ahead of ourselves. We got to do the video, actually. So.
Oh, what? Oh, dang.
All right, so there's so much to talk about, Caleb. We have not made a video since we beat the Chiefs, I think, which was fantastic, but
yeah,
so much has happened. We went on an awesome winning streak and lost a very sad, unfortunate game to the Texans where we made some mistakes, but overall, we played pretty well. It's a tied game in the fourth quarter. Texans were the ones that made the plays down the stretch to get it done. They win the division. I hate them. But, hey, we got our revenge against their backups. So take that, Texans backups.
Hey, man, I will take it. Oh, wait, no. Give it to the Texans backup. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Eat it. All right. But this guys, this has been a super exciting, memorable season. Yes, we finished 9-7 for the fourth time in a row. But, Caleb, would you agree that this does not feel like the 9-7 teams of the past? I feel like everybody would be in agreement saying that we're not just squeaking by, barely making it to the playoffs like our record might indicate, but we're playing some good football at the right time. This team is hot, and man, it feels good. It feels good to be playing good football at the right time. What say you?
I mean, I'm saying that this team, the iteration of the team we have now, might be one of the best Titans teams of all time.
Oh. I will agree.
Is that a hot take, dude? It's definitely got to be one of the best team of the last 15 years. And yes, I'm throwing in that. Was it 2008 with Kerry Collins?
Yes.
Yes, I think this team is a lot scarier than that team that went 13-3.
Well, the difference is we've never had a team where the offense. Well, we've had a couple, but the difference is the offense is just blowing it up, and that's something that has been very rare in the history of Titans football. We scored over 400 total points for the first time since 2003, where I did some research. That was the McNair's MVP year. They put up 435 points, so about 33 more points. But when you look at it in context, the first 6 games of the season with Mariota playing quarterback, there were 3 games where we scored 7 points or less, highlighted by that goose egg.
We got blanked a game. Yeah, we even put up a goose egg one game, and we still almost equaled that mark this season.
Yeah. So that's easy to say, where it feels like this is one of the better Titans teams we've ever had. But the defense on the second half of during the second half stretch of the season has kind of regressed a little bit, and I think injuries to Malcolm Butler and Adoree Jackson greatly had a lot to do with that. But hey, looks like Adoree's coming back finally for the first time since the Colts game, or it was 4 games ago when he got his foot injury. But that's going to be a huge help. With the secondary does need help, as good as Logan Ryan and Kevin Byard are. We definitely need more help on that back end. So I think Adoree Jackson coming back could be a big difference. But yeah, just overall, this Titans team looks like it is primed to make a run, and they're built, like a playoff team needs to be built in January, with obviously Derrick Henry running like he's running. Nobody's going to want to tackle a guy with his size and speed, and the cold, wet, rainy environment that it looks like we're going to get in Foxborough.
The rainy environment of Storm Henry, if you haven't heard.
That's right.
Because the actual name of the storm that is moving across the Northeast is actually named Henry, which is ironic that 2 storms named Henry are about to hit.
And it's going to be his birthday. It's all these things are lining up mysteriously.
Perfect storm.
For Henry to have a big game. But it's just all coincidences. It's all coincidences, people. It doesn't mean anything.
You know, dude, that is the meaning of life too. It's just all coincidences. Doesn't mean anything.
Nothing means anything.
Nothing means anything except that, dude. I'm really glad to see Derrick Henry back to form. That's all I can say. And New England better be very scared. Very scared. I would be.
Derrick Henry, man, he's turned in one of the best rushing seasons a Titans running back has ever had. The only Titans running back to run for more yards in a season was CJ2K with his 2,000, obviously. But Henry did his damage in only 15 games. I think if he had gotten that 16th game, he probably would have rushed for 500 yards and gotten over 2,000. So what are you going to do? Sometimes you only play 15 games. And
I do love how I keep on seeing people bring up that stat and always mention that, oh, he also only played 15 games. Like, what? He only missed one game. Like, he's not going to go over 2,000 yards, you know. He's going to stay around the same amount of, you know, within the same range of greatness. But I just think it's funny because most players miss at least a game in a season, right?
Yeah. But I mean, even the guys around him that's in the rankings of top rushers, I think they all played 16 games. So I mean, I don't know. It's just an extra in your face. Our guy did it in only 15 games. I don't know. Whatever. It's great. Henry had a fantastic season. And how about the should-be Rookie of the Year, A.J. Brown? Dude, I thought he would contribute, but I don't think anybody saw this coming. Putting up big play after big play. I've never seen so many big plays in a Titan season. Even in that 2003 season that I mentioned before, where we also had over 400 points, we didn't have near the big plays, the amount of big plays that we saw. Like in every game, there was like a 70-yard touchdown, 80-yard touchdown, Derrick Henry, 75-yard TD, A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill, 90-yard touchdown run. That didn't happen.
Whoa.
But you get my meaning.
But
this is a huge big play offense that's we've never seen before.
We could also still put Marcus in to run for 87 yards. He could do that. He could do the
that is
90-yard
proven
rushing touchdown. So we also have that big play threat anytime we want it, just sitting on the sidelines.
Yes.
So don't forget about that, Mike Vrabel. Okay.
That has evidence to support it. We've seen that before.
I seen it with my eyes, bruh.
Okay, so looking at this 9-7 team, I mean, surprisingly, we only had one notable win on the season, and that was against the Chiefs. I'm not counting the Texans win because we beat their backups, but that's the only really solid team that we beat over the course of the season. But the difference was that we were beating these other teams convincingly, where in years past we were squeaking by the, what was it? I think the year we went to the playoffs, 2017, we were barely getting by teams. We lost to the Cardinals, a bad Cardinals team and a bad 49ers team late in the season. We beat the winless Browns in overtime. Like there were some struggling points even during that playoff year, but it feels like we just were taking care of our business and then some. So I understand the Titans' optimism going into this Patriots game, given how the Patriots have played the past month too. But hey, let's just pump the brakes too at the same time. It's okay to be excited and hyped about the Titans, but this is still a 12-win Patriots team at home in the playoffs. Brady and Belichick are still there. So
all right, we're not talking about that game yet, though. We're talking about how Ryan Tannehill is an assassin, dude. He's an assassin. I don't know where he came from, but his career has been revitalized and then some with the Titans. I mean, I think that's what's changed the whole team is that he has just this attacking mentality 24/7, and he knows that he's going to get it done. And he's also dropping dimes out there. Like dude is on an insane streak right now, and I haven't seen this before from a quarterback. This reminds me of a la Nick Foles when he first took over for the Eagles back in the day and threw something like 26 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and then finished off his business by then taking over in the playoffs years later. This is that reminds me of this just all together now. So, I mean, I think that's I saw a stat the other day where Derrick Henry's yards per average have doubled since Tannehill took over the offense than it was under Mariota. He's affecting the whole game, the run game and the pass game. It's unbelievable. We don't even talk about the offensive line giving up sacks anymore. If we give up a sack, it's typically Tannehill's fault for holding on to the ball. All the problems we were having
offensive line has been better
at the beginning of the season seem to not. We've improved upon them. We've gotten better. Have we gone from good to great?
Getting ahead of yourself. Getting ahead of yourself. I think we still have have to prove. I think, if we go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots, then I think that's a pretty great status, and I think we would be one of the scarier teams going into the playoffs. But I think we still gotta put it out there come playoff time. But everything you said about Tannehill is true. It's remarkable what he's done. Like, even when he was in Miami, like, he had really good games. He had stretches where he'd play really good football. But I think he's taken everybody by surprise by how accurate and consistent that he is throwing the football. Just in the tight windows and just dropping dimes, like you said. Like, this is some of the best quarterback play we've ever seen in a Titans uniform. Have we caught lightning in a bottle? Or I know I don't want to talk too far into the future, or is this something that we can possibly expect going into next season? Because I do expect we'll retain Tannehill one way or another.
Yeah, I think I saw another crazy stat is I think I saw like he was 5th in the NFL amongst passers and like his percentage of throws into tight windows. But he was the highest completion percentage with the highest yards per attempt. Like that's unreal right there. Like we're witnessing something that has never been seen before among Titans franchise lore. Yeah. Anyways, I'm believing in Tannehill nowadays, dude. I know we used to love some Mariota, but man, Tanny, if you were right here right now, I would propose to you. I would get down on one knee and say, lead me to the promised lands. I will eat all your dang manna for 40 days and longer.
All right.
Let me ask you this, Justin, though. If this is kind of hypothetical, if we lose against the Patriots, would you say our season did not end up great? We didn't go from good to great? Like,
well, it's just hard to it'd be hard to measure too, because it's a what if Tannehill had started the whole season. We would have had a better playoff seeding. We definitely would have won 1 or 2 more games at least. So we may not have gone on the road. You can't be too disappointed in losing to the Patriots on the road in the playoffs. I think that'd be an unfair assessment to say, well, this season was a disappointment. But hey, we may, if we didn't make the playoffs,
we're talking levels of good though, not disappointments. We're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, was the season good?
I think it depends.
Or was it great already in your minds? Because when I think season as a whole was good, but when I look at this team with my eyeballs from watching NFL football my whole life, like, I think this is a great team, and statistically, we've put up some great numbers. Some historical numbers in certain cases. So I'm looking at the team and I think we've gone from good to great. Disregarding whatever outcome happens on Saturday, which will be a W against the Patriots, most likely in shutout fashion, 37-0.
What a prediction!
I thought we were doing predictions next. Where we're not going into game predictions. Totally.
You're jumping too far. But 37-0 is yours, apparently. I think we're close. I think we're close to being great. I think definitely the offense is great. I don't think there's an argument where anyone can make where the offense hasn't ascended to greatness yet. But the defense is still a question mark. We still don't give up a lot of points except for that Saints game. But I mean, the Saints were destroying everybody by come December. And even against the Texans' backups, I mean, we let their backups drive down the field a few times. They had an opening drive touchdown, long sustained drives by A.J. McCarron. But we are still good at not allowing points. When it comes crunch time, somebody does come up and make a play. But especially through the air without our starting corners, I think that's still a question mark. But we're close.
I mean, if the defense can rally back. The thing I'm worried about going into the playoffs as a whole with the team, I'm not worried about our defense or our offense. Sometimes I think your best defense is a really good offense. Like, teams are starting to respect our offense enough where they're going to be like, dude, as an offense as a whole, we have to put up 28-plus points to hang with the Titans. That's been one of the Saints and Drew Brees' greatest strengths his whole career, is he's always able to put up points, which puts so much pressure on the other team's offense, which takes the pressure off of your defense. So I think we have some of that going for us. We're getting a few players back in Adoree, so I think we're gonna get there. But the thing that worries me, I still, over the course of the season, I know we've flipped the season around, but it's Vrabel's in-game decision making. That's what worries me, because the playoffs, it doesn't even matter. You know what? We could be leagues better than the Patriots, it's probably still going to come down to a one-score game decided on a few crucial calls, you know? This is the NFL playoffs. That happens week in and week out. And I'm just worried that Vrabel cannot handle the situation. Based on what we've seen, he still makes these...
For a fourth down at a bad time. Yeah.
And, like, I don't...
Yeah, we haven't seen that, though, in the last month or the second half of the season. I know that
that's because we haven't had to. We've been blowing out teams, but I feel like that kind of just ends in the playoffs. Now watch us go. And I mean, I predicted the blow against the Patriots, but that's what I'm worried about going into the playoffs. Is I still haven't seen Vrabel really correct that, and I think he's going to be put in some really tough situations come Saturday, where this is going to be a big game for evaluating Vrabel. I think. In the long scheme of things, whether he's a good coach or whether he's a great coach, or whether he's just pure bad.
Yeah, so definitely a huge game for Vrabel. What about this too? I think probably the weakest aspect of this team is being hidden by the proficiency of the offense, and that's our kicking game.
Oh my!
We had 44% field goal success this year, which is like the worst ever. It should be. We made 8 field goals. I think that part is true.
I think we missed the most field goals in NFL history or something, or it's like since in 30 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would believe it. So, in the playoffs, if you have a bad kicking game, that could spell doom in the end, because a lot of playoff games come down to the wire. And if we got to rely on what's his name, Greg Joseph. Who's our kicker? I don't even know. I'm a bad fan.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The coaching staff completely butchered that whole kicking thing the whole season. I put that on them more than the kickers, because I've known Ryan. I've seen Ryan Suckup. He is not the same player. He was injured, and now he is not a good kicker. He should have not been playing after that first game ever again.
Yeah,
and we should have brought back Cody Parkey or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't bring back Cody Parkey, but I don't know. The kicker we have now, he hasn't kicked a single field goal yet, but he's made every single extra point, which says something, because he's kicked a lot of extra points, because we score a lot of touchdowns, and extra points aren't gimmies anymore. But still, that's obviously a cause for concern if we have to rely on
the Patriots have had a little trouble with field goal kickers this season too, which is rare for them. So both teams, I think they're pretty solid now. Who do they have? No one great, but they can get the job done.
Is it Young Ho? Young Ho?
Do they have Young Ho? No. What? Who? What?
Do they? I don't know. They don't have Gostowski anymore. That's what I do know.
They don't. No Gost.
What was Yeah, I don't know. I had a few notes here, just like the mindset going into this game. This is the second time in 3 years where we're going into Foxborough for a playoff game. But in 2017, that was more of a feeling of, dude, we beat the Jags to make the playoffs, end the playoff drought. We had an emotional, epic comeback in Kansas City for a playoff win. At that point, it was almost like we're just happy to be here. The Patriots are
definitely
a juggernaut.
Done enough that season for sure already to be satisfied.
Yeah, that was we're playing with house money.
I feel pretty good about this season already too, regardless of the outcome on Saturday, because I am very hyped already for next season. But I'm not getting ahead of myself.
Sounds like you are that.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that perfect season. That. What, that 18? Yeah,
16 and
0, dude. I think we can do it. So, but that's for next year. We're talking this year now.
That's your expectation.
That's my expectation.
That's the floor. So yeah, and so obviously we're not just happy to be here at this point. It's a relief. It took us to week 17 to clinch a playoff spot, but with the way this team's playing, I think a lot of fans are expecting more. The Patriots could they be in trouble? They lost to Miami. Would you chalk that up to a trap game? Divisional rival. There's a history of Miami beating the Patriots at least once in a season. Do you think that that's a sign of the Patriots' decline, or do you think it's just a little scratch that they're gonna get fixed in the playoffs?
Both. I think one.
They're declining.
I think it was a division game one, so those are always kind of toss-ups. Even for the Pats, Ryan Tannehill is actually 4-0 against the Patriots lifetime. Wait, that was a bad stat.
Or he's
beaten them like four times or something, right?
He's like 4-8 or 4-9 against him, which is pretty good.
That was a bad iteration of that stat. Yeah, he's beaten them a few times. So
That's
like
bad.
Miami's beaten them over the course of time. But then also I just think that's the Patriots team. I'm not saying the dynasty's over, but they definitely have some weaknesses. And like I think that was a huge game. I don't think it was a trap game, dude, because that Patriots dynasty has thrived off of sealing or getting home field advantage for as much as the playoffs as they can. And I think that was a big game to lose home field advantage in the divisional round now if they were to beat us. I think it's a big deal for them because I think Belichick knows this Tom Brady-led offense is not near as lethal as years past. So home field would be huge, and they did not get that. So I think that's just being like, dang, man, Patriots just aren't as good, but they're still a really good team.
Yeah, the strength of this team, and has been the case for a lot of the Patriots teams of the past, is their defense. But the defense is better than the average Patriot defense. They're playing outstanding this year. People were saying that they've kind of regressed a little bit. They haven't been putting up as good of performances as they were in the first half of the season, which I don't know. It might be true. Looking at like the final game scores, they're still not giving up that many points. They're like, yeah, Miami, obviously that one's thrown out there as a terrible game, but they're still an elite defense. They're probably the best defense in the AFC playoffs, in my opinion.
I just don't see. I know they're the best defense, but man, you look like the Patriots are always good at taking away what you do best. I don't know what we do wrong on offense right now.
I would, yeah. I mean,
game,
obviously they're gonna.
Who are they gonna? They don't want to tackle AJ Brown, Jonnu Smith, or Derrick Henry, and But
we have options. We've got options in the offense to attack them, which is exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's really exciting.
Dude, I mean, even as recently as the Super Bowl, dude, the Patriots defense gave up 3 points to the high-flying Rams. Like, that was a ridiculously accomplished defensive performance.
Yeah, and that was a really good offense, too, though they were really missing Todd Gurley by that point. And we have I would say, a full-strength Derrick Henry based on his performance last week.
Yeah.
Which is an advantage, Titans.
Yeah. Yes. But, yeah, I mean, Arthur Smith still needs to come into this game with if they're going to stack the box against Henry, I think we can still have success there. And then they do have one of the best secondaries in the league, led by Stephon Gilmore. That's going to be a huge matchup to watch, him versus A.J. Brown. They might even double A.J. Brown. That's how much he's been dominating defenses, though. But even then, like you said, Jonnu Smith, somebody's going to be getting open. Corey Davis. Anthony Firkser, game of his life. Anthony Firkser, come through for us.
Firkser owes me one, dude. Ever since he got that fumble interception against Houston crossing the goal line, that flipped the whole damn game right there. And he owes me one for that. He's got to come on, bro. You got my back, dude.
He owes you personally. That's true. Yeah, that was the play of the game, I think, in that first Houston game. But yeah, there's too much going for us on offense right now, and the Patriots can't hone in on just one aspect or another, or else they're going to get exploited in another way. So I don't know. It's hard not to be excited looking at this matchup, but it's still the Patriots in January at home, and they don't lose that like that. They haven't played in a wildcard game since 2009, so there's a lot of reasons to be excited, but I'm still cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I still think, honestly, it's going to rely on how we get to Tom Brady, how we pressure Tommy Tom back there, TB12, the mother Tom Brady. But
that's how we beat him. That's how we beat him last year in the regular season, 34-10. We crushed them because we got a lot of pressure on them. So that's the key. Jarrell Casey, Jeffrey Simmons got to come up with really strong games for us. Pressure up the middle.
Sack Tom Brady and then force him into a wide receiver. That always works because he's got them butterfingers, baby.
That's right. He did drop a crucial fourth down pass in that game.
Yeah.
Or it was like
it wasn't fourth down, but
I don't remember.
Yeah.
He still dropped a pass.
I
think that a good point to bring up is that Tom Brady is probably the least mobile quarterback in the NFL, and we played a lot of good mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. So I think because sometimes we do create that pressure, we collapse the pocket, but guys are able to escape. Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett is a decent scrambler. The first game against the Jags, we played Gardner Minshew, and he was able to run circles around our defense. And then when we played him the second time and they played Nick Foles, we had such an easier time in that game on defense because Nick Foles can't run.
So you're saying we do well against non-mobile quarterbacks? Yeah, it sounds about right.
I think so.
Sounds about right. I think every team does.
Honestly, everybody should. It kind of makes sense. You should do better sacking non-mobile quarterbacks.
That's a Booger McFarland meme right there.
Dang, what has become of Titans Tube? We're now Booger McFarland.
Fine with me, dude. Fine with me.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah, seriously. I wish I was making his kind of dough.
So I do think it's going to help us for sure with Brady not being able to scramble as well as any other quarterback that we've played this year. But that's definitely the key. One of the biggest keys to the game is the pressure on Brady. Something else I'm looking at for keys to the game, if we're just going to be going into this next segment here.
Looks like we did.
Is the biggest standout stat for this entire Patriots team to me is not only their turnover differential, but their takeaways. They have 25 interceptions on the season. And for comparison, the Titans have 14 interceptions. Obviously led by Stephon Gilmore, he has 6. Devin McCourty has 6, and then they have 5, and they have another cornerback. I forgot what his name was, but he has 5 as well. They got some ball hawks in that secondary, so we need to be careful because their defense, especially I think in the first half of the season, did such a good job at setting up their offense with opportunities to put up more points. So we can't give their offense any help by giving them the ball. And they lead the league by far with a plus 21 turnover differential. So that, I think, separates them. That's their best team stat, in my opinion, that separates them from the rest of the league.
That's
going
to
be crucial for me.
That's definitely made them as good as they are, especially record-wise. Turnovers are huge. So, yeah, I thought that was definitely going to be a key to the game. We cannot turn the ball over. Who on the offense wants to turn the ball over? Because if you do, we need to sit down and we need to talk. I need to talk to you about not turning the ball over on Saturday night.
Let me
tell you something, sonny boy. Hold on to that ball, Petey. Hold on to that ball.
Hold on to that ball. Yes, remember
the Titans.
The Titans movie.
Forever.
Reference. But that's the only key to the game I have on the offensive side of the ball. I think that we'll be able to put up enough points given that we take care of the ball. And even if we don't, and even if it's a low-scoring game, if we don't take care of the ball, or if we do take care of the ball, we're still going to have a chance to win at the end of the game. And one interesting key, I think, I'm going to throw this one too. We need to watch out for the trickeration and the trick plays because we've seen Julian Edelman throw passes. We've seen laterals to James White, and he throws a pass. Well, last week against Miami, Tom Brady threw a touchdown pass to one of their linebackers who lined up as a fullback. They do some weird crap, some weird stuff, Philly special stuff. So if they can't move the ball effectively or they're needing a play, we've got to make sure we're ready for something like that. A fake punt, fake field goal. I think they're going to be game planning for a situation to come up for them to do that. So I think we got to watch out for that. Plays like that can change the game. That's a key. That's another key that I have.
They've been pulling stuff out of their butt all season. They got to be running out of that shit sometime. Right?
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, and that's pretty much it, what I have for the keys and disciplined football. I mean, whatever. That's going to be a key every single week.
What does that even mean, disciplined football?
No penalties, limited penalties. Don't
hurt
yourself.
Good boy, football. Oh, I thought you meant disciplining the football. The actual ball.
That's an interesting way you took that.
Well,
weird interpretation.
To each his own.
But man, what a season. I'm pumped. This week I've just been obsessively nonstop been thinking about the opportunity in front of us. And hopefully, if one thing Mike Vrabel does well is that he did better than Malarkey, is that he gets this team ready to play. Win or lose, we seem to show up a lot over Mike Vrabel's tenure. We haven't laid a lot of duds, except for the Panthers game.
I can think of a few duds. What about that Denver Broncos game? That was a pretty good dud.
Yeah, I guess I'm talking about the Tannehill era. And the 10 game sample. But what are you going to do?
You're going to go out there and you're going to beat the Patriots is what you're going to do. We're going to go into Boston. We're going to go into Foxborough. I don't care if it's storming. I don't care if it's raining. We're going to drive down the football down the field, and we're going to get in the end zone. And we're going to score a touchdown, and the Patriots aren't going to answer because our defense is going to be too good. And that is how, my friends, we're going to advance to the divisional round.
You sound like a 50s horse racer announcer. And they're off, and they're gonna throw the football there, and around the corner, and he's gonna score a touchdown. Touchdown, AJ Brown. It's the winner. Tennessee Titans.
Rookie, 1K always open. Follow him on Instagram. Hey, at AJ Brown, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Pro Bowler. Yeah, he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He should have made the Pro Bowl.
He should.
Justin, man. We're going to win.
Else?
We're going to beat the Patriots on Saturday. What's your score prediction, by the way? I already gave mine 37-0. But
Okay.
if you're looking for something real, I think we are actually going to win. I would give us let's go 24-16.
Okay. I like that. I haven't really thought about a score, but let's do 26 to 23. It'll be a field goal game. Pressure.
We're just pulling these scores out of our butt.
Yeah, I mean,
on the spot.
That's what everybody does. I mean, you're probably more accurate when you pull it out of your butt than when you think about it for hours and hours. You never know.
That's true.
Yeah, never know.
That's true. Never know.
I don't know. Is there any more to talk about? Obviously, there feels like there should be. It's been a while. Since we've talked.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. If you've watched
kind of
or
breeze
listened
through this.
If you've watched or listened to now up through this episode up until now, you know what? Thank you for sticking through the season with us in our absence, and still supporting and listening to our voices on your ears, on your earbuds, and your eardrums, because we appreciate it.
Because this is the way. This is the way.
Oh crap! I think my AirPods died. What good timing.
Well, we got some earbuds dying, so as is the case, as this video is falling apart, as is the channel.
What?
We win or lose, we're definitely going to try to be back to do a recap and talk about the game. And we're hopefully get some off-season content out as well, because that's going to be important to have stuff to create during the off-season. We need a top 10 plays video. We did one for
Justin,
2017.
it's a new year, man. 2020. We're making the commitment to be more disciplined at putting out videos.
That's your New Year's resolution. More videos.
Yep. More videos, and then also hopefully more money from fans.
We are in no position to ask for any donations. I hope you realize that.
I'm just kidding. Don't
give us money. You're gonna regret
give us money. Don't give us money. Give us money.
But yeah, here we go. Playoff time. Man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back, y'all. Back in the playoffs. Saturday night prime time. I think, do we get Tony Romo and Jim Nantz for like the 8th time this year? I feel like they've been calling a lot of our games.
It's actually the sixth time they will have been announcing our game, which is, dude,
close.
That means the Titans are pretty good. We're probably Tony Romo's favorite team. I don't know what other team he would be rooting for.
No idea. They're definitely rooting for us. Well, all right. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, you should comment them in the comment box. Maybe do some suggestions about some off-season content you'd like us to see or to do. I can't even speak anymore. I'm so out of practice. What do you guys think about the game? Are you guys super hyped? Do you guys have your expectations through the roof? Or are you like me and you're cautiously optimistic?
Super hyped, dude. I'm super hyped over here, if you can't
tell.
He's
super hyped. I'm cautiously optimistic.
This channel has lived off being super hyped, though, and now you're not super hyped? Now?
Yeah, what's happened to me? It's the new year. Maybe I'm more of a realist and not a blindly optimistic fan. Where
get your hype up, dude.
I think we're going 16-0 next year, like you, before this season's even over.
But yeah, leave us those comments, not the ones that say, "Oh my God, Caleb has dreads," because dudes, I've had dreads for 3 years before I even moved out to Colorado. So that comment is old. Stop.
Or what about your playoff beard? We should have mentioned that. You are growing your beard for the playoffs. You will not shave until when? The Titans lose?
Sure. That I'm down with that.
He's not gonna do it.
I'm down with that.
Okay. Word.
Word up. Thanks for watching, people. We love you. Respect. Much love. Tighten up. Hoo, hoo, hoo.